Good day, everyone. I am Rinilin MTN, and for today's presentation, I'll be discussing Building Rapport, which is under Unit 4 Teacher as Leader, Managing Relationships, Overcoming Challenges, and Upholding Ethics, specifically under Teacher Learner Interaction. Our topic focuses on how teachers can develop positive, respectful, and trusting relationships with their learners. Before we proceed, let us first look at the objectives of this topic. By the end of this discussion, we are expected to achieve three objectives. First, for knowledge, we should be able to identify behaviors that build or weaken teacher learner rapport in different classroom situations. Second, for skills, we should be able to demonstrate appropriate rapport building strategies through a short classroom simulations. And third, for attitude, we should be able to appreciate the importance of positive teacher learner relationships in creating a supportive classroom. With these objectives in mind, let us now understand what rapport means. So, what is rapport? Building rapport is the process of developing a positive, respectful, and trusting relationship between teachers and learners. In other words, rapport is about creating a relationship where teachers and learners can communicate openly, understand one another, and develop a supportive relationship that contributes to effective learning. This means that teaching is not only about delivering lessons or presenting information. The relationship between the teachers and the learners also plays an important role in the learning process. Research shows that positive teacher learner relationships are associated with stronger student engagement and learning outcomes, as discussed by Cornelius and White in 2007 and Ruorda and colleagues in 2011. So, when learners experience a positive relationship with their teacher, they may become more comfortable engaging in the classroom and participating in learning activities. Now, thou, now that we understand what report means, let us proceed to its important. What is report important in the classroom? Building rapport helps learners feel valued, supported, and comfortable participating in classroom activities. A positive teacher learner relationship is also linked with student engagement and academic achievement. Because of this, rapport becomes an important part of effective teacher learner interaction. For example, when learners feel that their teachers listen to them, respect their ideas, and supports them when they experience difficulty, they may feel more comfortable participating in classroom activities. Therefore, building rapport is important because it contributes to creating a classroom environment where learners feel supported and are more willing to participate in learning. Now, let us discuss the different ways teachers can build student rapport. The first way to build student rapport is to smile. A warm and genuine smile can make the teacher appear welcoming and approachable. It can help establish a positive atmosphere where learners feel comfortable interacting with the teacher. For example, a teacher can smile and greet learners as they enter the classroom. Another example is when a learner shares an answer or asks a question, the teachers can respond with a smile. Although smiling may seem like a very simple action, it can help create a welcoming classroom atmosphere. The second way is to have a sense of humor. Appropriate or humor can make classroom interactions more relaxed and enjoyable. It can also help learners feel more comfortable participating in classroom activities. For example, a teacher may tell a simple and appropriate joke related to the lesson. Another example is using a funny but respectful example when explaining a difficult concept. The important point here is that the humor should be appropriate and respectful so that it contributes to a comfortable classroom interaction. The third way is to talk positively. Positive and respectful communication helps learners feel supported by their teacher. Encouraging language can also motivate learners to participate and continue up improving. For example, instead of telling a learner, "You are wrong," the teacher can say, "Let's try to find the correct answer together." Another example is saying, "Good effort, keep trying." When a learner is struggling, this shows that the teacher is not simply focusing on whether the learner's answer is correct or incorrect. Instead, the teacher uses encouraging communication to support the learner. The fourth way is to know your subject matter. A knowledgeable and prepared teacher can explain lesson clearly and respond confidently to learners' question. Teacher competence can also contribute to learner trust and positive perceptions of classroom interaction. For example, the teacher prepares example before discussing a difficult topic. Another example is when a learner asks a question, the teachers clearly explain the answers or guidance the learner towards discovering the answer. Therefore, being prepared and knowledgeable helps teachers communicate their lesson clearly and respond to learners with confidence. The fifth way is to remember students' name. Remembering and appropriately using learners' names shows that the teacher recognizes them as individuals. This simple practice can support a sense of connection and belonging in the classroom. For example, the teacher can call learners by their names during discussion. The teacher may also welcome a learner by saying, "Good morning, Anna." Using learners' names appropriately can help create a sense of personal recognition within the classroom. The sixth way is to give attention to all students. Giving attention to all learners promotes inclusion and shows that every learner's participation is valued. Teachers should avoid focusing only on learners who frequently volunteer answers. For example, teacher can give Twitter learners opportunity to share their ideas. During group activities, the teacher can also visit each group and check their progress. This means that the teacher should make an effort to recognize the participation and needs of learners throughout the classroom, rather than focusing only on those who frequently participate. The seventh way is to be available. Being approachable allows learners to ask questions and seek academic assistance when necessary. This openness can strengthen communication between teachers and learners. For example, the teacher can allow learners to ask questions after the lesson. The teacher can also tell learners, "If you need clarification, you may approach me." Through this, learners know that the teacher is available when they need clarification or academic assistance. The eighth way is to give verbal praise. Specific and sincere praise recognize a learner's effort, improvement, participation, or achievement. Positive feedback can encourage learners to remain engaged in learning. For example, after a learner gives a truthful answers, the teacher can say, "Excellent explanation." Another example is saying, "I am appreciate your effort in completing this activity." This type of phrase recognizes that the learner has done and can encourage continued participation. The, The ninth way is to be conscious of body posture. A teacher's facial expression, gestures, and posture can influence how approachable the teacher appears. Positive body language can encourage learners to communicate more comfortably. For example, the teacher can face the learner and listen attentively. Another example is using an open posture while a learner is presenting. Therefore, rapport is not only developed through spoken words, the teacher's body language can also influence how learners experience their interaction with the teacher. The tenth way is to match behavior. Teacher can adjust their communication style according to the classroom situation and the learner's needs. Appropriate adjustment can help make teacher-learner communication more effective. For example, when helping a nervous learner, the teacher can speak calmly. On the other hand, during an interactive activity, the teacher can use a more energetic approach. This means that teacher can adjust their approach depending on the situation and the needs of their learners. The 11th way is to honor your time. Be punctual, demonstrates responsibility and respect for learners' times. Consistent time management also demonstrates professionalism. For example, the teacher arrives before the scheduled class begins. The teacher also starts and ends activities according to the planned schedule. Therefore, respecting time is another way of showing responsibility and professionalism in the teacher learner relationships. The 12th way is to learn student interest, hobbies, and aspiration. Knowing learners' interests help teachers understand them better and connect learning to their experiences. Learner-centered relationships are associated with positive educational outcomes as stated in the document and supported. For example, a teacher can use sports example when explaining a mathematics problem to learners who are interested in sport. And another example is connecting an activity to learners' hobbies when appropriate. By understanding learners' interests, teacher can connect classroom learning with experiences that are meaningful to them. The 13th way is to interact more and lecture less, providing opportunities for learners to discuss, collaborate, and express their ideas makes teacher-learner interaction more active. The documents also state that positive learner-centered teacher relationships are associated with better cognitive, affective, and behavioral outcomes. For example, instead of lecturing for the entire class period, the teacher can use pair or group discussions. The teacher can also ask learners to explain their answers and share their ideas. This allows learners to become more active, involved in classroom interaction. Finally, the 14th way is to be yourself. Being genuine and approachable can help teachers establish trust with learners while still maintaining professional boundaries. A positive teacher learner relationship should remain respectful and focused on supporting learning. For example, the teacher can naturally show enthusiasm when discussing a topic they enjoy. Another example is communicating warmly with learners while maintaining appropriate professionalism. Therefore, being yourself does not mean removing professionalism. Rather, it means being genuine and approachable while still maintaining a respectful and professional teacher learner relationship. In conclusion, building rapport is an essential part of effective teacher learner interaction. As discussed, teachers can build rapport by showing respect, understanding, encouragement, and genuine interest in their learners. The 14 ways we discuss are first, mild. Second, have a sense of humor. Third, talk positively. Fourth, know your subject matter. Fifth, remember student names. Sixth, give attention to all students. Seventh, be available. 8. Give verbal phrase. Ninth, be conscious or body posture. 10th, match behavior. 11th, honor your time. 12, learn students, interests, hobbies, and aspiration. 13th, interact more and lecture less. And lastly, be yourself. When teachers apply these behaviors appropriately, they can create a classroom environment where learners feel valued, confident, and motivated to participate in learning. That concludes my presentation on building rapport. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.